Hey everybody, got my hair up. It's just been one of those it's just been nuts today how time has flown. Anyway, Justin has gotten to Brevard and he's going to come by here and maybe do tea time with me. He's got to go to the post office and we shall see. Life is good. Anyway, come on in. It's tea time. We haven't done a tea time in a while. There's just so much to be thankful for, y'all. You just have to sit and be still and count your blessings. So I got word from Conda a while ago that they found an elderly lady dead on her street today, and she's upset. So keep Conda, Fly Lady Conda, in your prayers. She's having a rough time. Her basement got flooded, which this was before the storm hit. Her basement was flooded because we had gotten so much rain. So, folks, it's been hard. Justin hadn't seen the damage. He'd been out and about gathering stuff up during the day and going back to the house at night, and he hadn't seen all the damage that I was on the phone with him a while ago when he drove through his own neighborhood. And tonight will be the first night he has spent the night in the house after the storm, because they were on a 2-week vacation when it hit, and when he couldn't get a hold of Robert and me, they decided to cut their vacation short. It wasn't much short, just a few hours, because he pretty much knew Robert and I were okay. We were okay, and we were. We were, as Robert put it, we were just a little inconvenienced not having any electricity, and I was inconvenienced not having any internet. We had very little cell phone, and cell phone is our backup for the internet. But we're good, and Justin's been boots on the ground, helping people. Just he has friends that had 4 trees fall on their house, that were cut off and didn't have a driveway to their home because it was all washed out and they had to come in from a different property. He's sending, let's see if what he sent me pictures earlier. I don't know if I can find them, but let's see if where is. So this morning I told you we got the money from the GoFundMe account, and I've already sent it to Justin. I rounded it up to it was $591, and I sent him $600 for him to help get things. And he was on his way to stop at another store for hand out stuff, pick up stuff and hand it out. So he'll give us the details of, and he's already spent, I don't even know how much money he spent helping people of his own money. So people are contacting me. There's just so much to be thankful for. God gets all the glory. He does. He really does. This morning we blessed our homes, and we prayed Psalms 91 over our family. Put this in front of your face. Copy and paste it, print it out, put it where you can open your Bible to it, read it over your family every day. I believe with all my heart, praying Psalms 91. Here he comes. Here he comes. Come on in. I unlocked the door for him. The dog is going nuts. So he'll be back here with us in a second. Hey, Justin. I think he and Robert went outside. He'll be back in here in a second. He'll be back here. Anyway, it's just been one of those days. You just work, and you don't seem like you've done anything. I think I emptied the dishwasher. I'm trying to listen to what they're talking about. Robert's showing them what damage we had, which was a tree. A tree. And they're both hard of hearing, so it don't matter how much I yell. Anyway, Robert hadn't talked to anybody either. Well, he has, Miss Marion, and he went down and worked on the bridge today, put another couple of bags of concrete in it and some water. It's all good. Just all good. We're so blessed. So I don't even know if Justin knows what time it is the issue. Hold on. Let me. I better not bother the guys. He'll be back here when he gets back here. But here we are. It's Monday, isn't it? It's just Monday, and Monday we bless our homes. Tomorrow is plan and play day. Let's get those menus planned. If you've got menus planned, if a storm hits, you've got the food in your refrigerator to cook meals if you've got the ability to cook. And I had the ability to cook with a crock pot. That if I was going to have a pasta dinner, I would just add an extra can of water. And we were all good. We cooked every night, and it went well. It went well. So I am happy we survived. Happy, and so thankful. So thankful. So count your blessings. Count your blessings. He'll give us a full lowdown when he gets in here. I haven't even got the chat up. Let's see. Maddie made it home. And there's Peter. Hey, Peter. Patty's asking what's for dinner, everybody. I think we're having Mexican. We're having Mexican. We can get out and we can get there. And we might as well, let's see, extra can. I add an extra can if I cook. I'm confused. I had a recipe that I had to boil water for noodles, for wide noodles to go in our stroganoff. And what I did was I had a can of golden mushroom soup, some cream cheese, and so I added another can of water to the recipe and put the noodles in there and let them all cook. My daughter-in-law taught me that. Spaghetti's the same way. I took a can of pasta sauce and I had browned some sausage and put the can of pasta sauce in it and added another can of water and then put the spaghetti in there. Well, it was penne pasta. And it worked well. It worked really well. And I was pleased with the way the recipes turned out. She's always made mac and cheese in the crock pot, especially for church suppers and things like that. And she would just add another can of milk, about 2 cups of milk, and it works. Anyway, but Maddie made it in, and Justin's here right now, and I hadn't got to see him yet. It's been, oh, I guess about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Potato hamburger casserole. That sounds good. Are the noodles over? They weren't. They weren't terrible. They weren't terrible because I could cook on pretty high on this crock pot. God gets all the glory. Where there's a will, there's a way, and you don't have to be real picky when you're hungry. There was this one elderly lady they interviewed that lived on top of a mountain. Her husband had been dead since 1989, so she'd been um, living on this mountain for 30 years by herself, 35 years. And she's a can-do lady, but she didn't have any phone. No phone, no way to talk to anybody, no electricity. But it's almost like the more country you are, the better off you are. Because they didn't have electricity anyway. And they didn't have running water in their houses and toilets, or they made it. They made it. Yes, Milton's path is going to run right across the center part of Florida. It's gotten to where it's going to be Cat 4, Cat 5 when it crosses in. When Justin's in the house, my face lights up. Well, I hadn't seen him in 3 weeks. He and Robert are talking shop. That's what guys do, And I think he's really happy that Robert takes care of his mama. Ground beef, mixed vegetables, and rice. I'm going to purchase some dehydrated ground meat to keep in my pantry, where that all you put is hot water with it. I think that, and I've got chicken that way. I bought chicken that way for the kitty, for Samantha. I'm gonna send Justin a text. So I'm going to get one of those big cans of dehydrated beef where you just scoop out a cup of it and put hot water with it. It's like having 2 cups. Robert, Justin doesn't look at his phone when he's talking to somebody. Sun's out. It's nice. It's been nice. Thank you all for all your donations and purchasing of stuff. I guess I'm a little. Uh, I hear Justin's voice. I just can't get him to come in here. The door's standing wide open. I know Patty was glad to see Madison. She goes to college down in Florida, and she's had to leave from a couple of storms. But her school pretty much said, "You need to go home." Somebody here from Portugal. I like this. I watch Project Portugal, and I love to watch those two, Nick and Andrea. Nick and Andrea, reclaiming their spot of Portugal. He's been messing with, and I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. They've been messing with, he calls it a water mine, but it's a spring where he captures water. Where he captures water. Hey, Sage, what are y'all doing? We will be having one human guest with undisclosed number of dogs, cats. Oh wow! She said her roof was rated for 140 miles an hour this morning. Praise the Lord. Alden said, "My nerves are on edge. Husband is in Grand Isle, Louisiana, very South Louisiana. Storm is headed there, but I'm still feeling anxious." We all feel anxious. I feel anxious for all my fly babies that are in the storm's way. And here it is, the 7th day. The storm happened here on the 27th of September, and now here we are. Sage says they shelter in place. That's boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. I was listening to a lady out of Middle, in the foothills of North Carolina, and she had shipped a pallet load of chainsaws up here. Yes, we can pray when Justin gets in here. Pull you up a chair. Don't shut it all the way. The cats kind of have to come in every once in a while and get a meal. It's a hazard. Here we go.
Well, hello, everybody. Good to see you. You made it through the storm.
We did fine. We did good.
Fine. Well, I've been running all over creation this morning. So, but it looks pretty bad. Back toward my house, I just drove pretty much all the way through Transylvania County, and it looks pretty. I mean, the trees have been a lot of trees are down, and a lot have been cut out of the way, and power has been restored here. But some of my friends in the Asheville, Swananoa, and Black Mountain area are still dealing with power outages. And the biggest thing that's going on right now is the Asheville water system has been totally wiped out for the main part of Asheville, North Asheville, Swananoa, Black Mountain. Those areas, they're saying they might not have water for a month. And so there's a lot to be thankful for, but they're getting by with a lot of people, a lot of tanker trucks that are bringing big big water containers there, and they can filter it and purify it, or they can boil it and things like that. So our house has power back, and which means we have water because we're on a well. And so we have a fully functioning house, except no internet. But we can make do without that for the time being. So, yeah. Hello, everybody.
What's the hat you got on?
It's just a fishing hat. It's a dirty old fishing hat.
Dirty old fishing hat.
Dirty old fishing hat. Other than that,
I was on the phone with him when he got into his neighborhood a while ago.
Yeah,
he hadn't seen it in daylight hours.
Real close to our house, within a quarter mile of our house, just right down the street. A couple of big, huge houses that have big pieces of property and have the biggest oak trees in their yard. And they, just about every last oak tree that's in this house, that's in their yard, is down. And these are not little trees. These are big trees. And they have just totally just laid waste to them all. And that scene is all over Asheville, Buncombe County, counties to the north. And that's, I mean, yes, that area real close to my house was flooded, and some people did lose their homes and stuff there. But the flooding wasn't as, the river got up and spread out and inundated a school, apartment complex, a park. But there's a lot of farmland.
Is it the school where Emily teaches?
No. It's up on the mountain. But yeah, it's pretty bad. But we brought back a lot more supplies today, and we're gonna go to a friend's house. I think Emily and one of her friends are gonna go to a friend's house, the Waltons, when they got out right when the storm was hitting, and they went to Charlotte to stay with family or friends or whatever. But
that's
their refrigerator needs to be cleaned out, and so they're going to go over there and do that for them tomorrow, because it's probably pretty bad. Rich's wife.
Y'all prayed for them. Rich passed away, about a month ago?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, about a month ago. I went to be with the Lord. But yeah, there's a lot of death, a lot of destruction, a lot of damage to property. The area will take a long time to recover. There are very few roads in and out of Western North Carolina. Most of them are from the south. Is really the only way to enter the mountains. So it's pretty tough. I've got my chainsaw in the back of the truck, and I got a brand new generator. We're going to go drop off a little bit later to somebody in need. Let them use it for a little while until they get power back. But power crews from all over the country
and Canada.
I drove by. There's a big staging area at an outlet mall that's real close to Interstate 40 and Interstate 26 area. And they've used the whole parking lot as home base for all these power restoration crews.
They have a mess tent. They have a showering van, just the back of an 18-wheeler.
It's wild.
They have 18 people can sleep in these bunk trailers.
There are hundreds of tractor trailer trucks there that are turned into bunks, and they've got huge mess tents, and then all of the power company, bucket crews and stuff, trucks were there. I mean, look like there are thousands of trucks, trailers, people. It's really impressive to see all of the folks that have come in to help our area out. But it's tough. It's tough to see the damage and see a lot of the stuff. We've got some friends of ours, and they had 7 or 8 big, huge trees land on their house, and their house is out of commission for now, for sure. And they've actually gone to stay with their parents. But yeah, it's pretty bad. So any prayers or donations or anything like that you can continue to do for our area will be great. Our grocery stores have come back online around here, which is good. Gas stations have gas. That's good. And there's just a lot of businesses that'll be suffering, whether they're restaurants or they got flooded out or homes that are gone. There's just a great need for assistance here in our mountains.
What do you know about Hurricane Milton?
The last time I looked at Milton, it was Cat 4. and it was nearing the Yucatan Peninsula. And
I
let's
heard it was
see.
going to skirt it and head toward Tampa.
Yeah, it's going right across the top of of, of the Yucatan Peninsula, and see what current status is. Maximum sustained winds. It's a Cat 5 right now. Maximum sustained winds are 175 miles per hour.
And it's still on open water.
It looks right now the center of its forecast to hit right near Tampa, which means the worst of it will be south of Tampa, because that's how a storm works. On that right side is always the worst. So as it's moving east, anything south of that is going to be the bad area.
If it's moving north, it's to the east of it.
Yeah. So since it's moving east, it's going to be everything to the south of it. It's going to be as it's spinning. That's just how it goes. So, but yeah, let's see what the satellite image looks like. It looked pretty impressive this morning.
It was beginning to get a tiny eye.
Yeah. It's massive.
And the darker the color, the more higher the wind speed.
So that's what it looks like right now.
They expecting a Cat 5 or Cat 4 before it hits land.
Yeah, they're hoping that the brush with the tip of Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula will kill it a little bit and die it down. But it's going to go over some really warm Gulf waters there, and it's going to be a bad deal for Florida. Florida's very prepared for such things, though. Their governor is great. They have so many boots on the ground. It's just, I hate that this is happening right on the heels of what just happened. Steinhatchee and those areas in the Florida Big Bend area got really hammered, and then it went straight up to us. And I hate that we're not even fully back up and running. Another one's hitting, and all these power crews are probably going to be going down there to help. And they're slap wore out. I mean, people are tired. A buddy of mine, he's been helping out at his church. It's been a really awesome thing that they've been able to do. They've just had a lot of drops from people from all over the South, especially down east in eastern North Carolina, that have brought stuff in, and they've been passing it out at their church daily, whether it's food, water, medicines, diapers, baby formula. If you need it, they have it. And so many other churches around our area. The Biltmore Church, which is one of the largest churches in our area.
Biltmore Baptist?
Yeah, but I don't think they call it Biltmore Baptist anymore. It's just Biltmore Church. But they have a huge complex, and they've had just over 200 or 300 volunteers a day helping pass stuff out. Because there's just a bunch of stuff that's coming.
Brandon took things there.
Yeah, and so early last week was a really dire, and our area is still in search and rescue and recovery mode, but the rescues are they're still trying to cut up these little windy roads. Our mountains are different than the mountains out west. They're not as tall by any means, but they're green. And when they're green, that means they're full of trees. And when winds blow almost 100 miles an hour after you've had almost 30 inches of rain, it's going to knock stuff over. And that's exactly what happened. There was just
the roots just lifted up.
And, we're the land of waterfalls. We've got water coming out of the earth everywhere here in the mountains. It's a beautiful place. And there's water coming out all the time. And then when you have so much rain coming down these steep slopes, it creates such a torrent and such flash floods that pieces of the mountain come down, trees come down, the rivers, creeks turn into rivers, and rivers turn into like raging tidal wave. I mean, it's unbelievable.
There's a wall of water.
All of the rivers have gone down because here in the mountains, when things flood fast, they go down fast. And it took several days, but they have all gone down. And so now you just got a massive amount of roads that were washed out, little towns that are gone. that have washed into the creek or bulldozed away, boulders in roads that weren't there before, interstates that have been cut off to the west and to the north of Asheville, and it's it's a historic event for anywhere, much less here. And we're all doing our best to get by, and we're trying to help out our neighbor and help out anybody we can. So that's kind of what our plan is. I've got plenty of chainsaw gas. I got fresh chains for my chainsaw, and it's going to be get to work time and start cutting trees and stuff. A lot of people have been doing that. There's tons of tree company crews that are craning trees off houses, that are putting tarps on houses, because it's going to be a while before any of these houses that, if they're still livable but have a hole in the roof, it's going to be a while before there's going to be repairs made. So it's just going to be tarps.
During Hurricane Floyd back, 1997? I don't know. I went down east to help clean up because we had flybabies. Well, we were brand new with, was just friends of mine that I'd met on the internet, and they lost 3 houses in the major flooding.
Yeah. Tremendous amount of people that have been lost here in the mountains. The death toll continues to climb. Families lost a lot of loved ones. Some families lost their entire family. Livestock, farms, you name it. It's
that's the one thing that could grow in the mountains was livestock.
Yeah, so you got a lot of these little pastures and things like that run along these small little rivers and creeks. And when these creeks and rivers go from 10 feet to 20 feet wide to 100 to
200,
half a mile wide, and they flood the entire valley, that's what happened. And it rose so fast that some of these people thought that they were probably fine in their house, even if water did get in it. And then it just kept getting higher and higher and higher.
And they crawled up on the second floor, and some of them went out on the roof, and some of them rode the house down the river on the roof.
Yep.
It didn't survive.
It's a bad deal, but continue to pray for our area. Some things are getting better.
Elaine says Floyd was 1999.
1999, that's right.
I knew that we hadn't really started. It was in October.
Yeah, so being prepared. You can't be prepared for everything, but being prepared as much as you can will help out. We were prepared. We had generators, we had food, we had water, we had gasoline.
And he wasn't home.
And I wasn't even home. And I loaned out my 2 generators to friends. And that's what I did. And a lot of people have been doing the same thing. And hopefully some of my friends will start to get power back. And when they get power back, they'll be back fully running again. And the things will start to move a little by little. Cell coverage here in the mountains has gotten somewhat better. I was just home for just a little bit earlier. And
did you get some pictures?
Let's see here. See if you see that.
That's a Black Hawk?
A Chinook.
That's a Chinook.
They've been the National Guard, Marine Corps. They've been boots on the ground, flying in the sky, delivering large amounts of supplies to the airports in our area. And then they've been coordinating with different groups. And then from there, putting it on trailers and dropping it off at these churches and at different locations.
The churches have been instrumental in the distribution. They have big parking lots, and
they've started to use some schools for a lot of the shelters. Most schools in Henderson County, which is the county I live in, they've been using those for shelters and for people that their homes are gone, they were flooded, they're displaced, they can't live there. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. A lot of people, if they had the ability to actually leave their home last Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of last week, a lot of people got out if they had family or friends or somewhere that they could go to that was out of our area, because they knew it was going to be a while before power came back on and even longer before some of these places get water. I mean, it's going to be quite a while for the city of Asheville. So, yeah. So we're gonna get through it. It's just gonna be tough and tough times ahead. So anything you can do to donate,
we'll get it where it needs to go.
Yeah. And so just your prayers are appreciated, and we love y'all, and we're sorry that we're out of pocket last week, but we didn't have Starlink.
And we're gonna be
that's gonna change, Joe.
We're gonna be talking about it.
There's a lot of different people that have got those now, and there is a crucial need for things like that. And when you get have no communication at all, and just to give you an update, if you have an Apple device, an iPhone. Apple just came out with iPhone, their iOS software 18.0. And in 18.0, it turns your phone into a satellite communication device. You can't talk on it, but there is a little button that allows you have to go out in your yard and have a clear line of the sky, but you can communicate to everybody that's on your list, that's in your contacts, by texting or iMessage. And it is how
do you tell what you got? I did the update. 18.1.
You have it. So
wow, that's good to know.
Scroll down. Let's see.
It's an old iPhone. I mean, mine's an iPhone 11.
I'm going to do some more research about it. I just found out about it this morning. I don't know if Mom's older iPhone will do it, but this lady was running on an iPhone 15 from last year, and it had that capabilities. It pops up a new button where you can.
What's that right there?
A calculator. So let's go to settings and see if it's there. But anyway, it's
what's it called?
I think it's called Sat Text or Sat iMessage or something like that. So anyway, don't know if that's true or not because I haven't downloaded it, but y'all can verify it. I did watch a video on it this morning, and I was like, well, that would have been good to know. Like
2 weeks ago.
Well, I think Apple just came out with this.
Yeah, the update was 2 days ago.
They tried to bring it out as fast as they could for situations like this. And anyway, having a sat phone, having some kind of way to communicate to your loved ones in an emergency, Starlink,
Elon sent engineers, geek people to help set things up. They're here. They are setting things up. What's his name? James Butler went to Bristol, Virginia to get a Starlink, and he almost died going to get it.
Yeah.
He went across a bridge, and as soon as he went across it, it collapsed.
I've got 2 friends that have it, and one of them uses it at his cabin that's really, really remote. And it's so far out in the woods and so high up on a mountaintop, he was never going to have any internet out there. But with this device, he just has to put the thing on the roof. It looks at the sky. It's so easy to put together. It's like turning on an iPhone.
It's plug and play.
It's like, boom, you've got internet, and you can plug your TV into it. You can plug your Roku, your Apple TV. You can stream everything, and
does it need electricity?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got to plug it in. So if you don't have any power, that could be a problem. But if you've got a backup generator or something like that, there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Libby's asking if we're going to keep the GoFundMe account up. I don't have any control over it. It's just sending me the money. Mm-hmm. We do have a donate button on our website. At the very top of the page on the left-hand side, you will see donate. You'll see join our emails. And we get it the next day.
Somebody else is asking, where do bears go when there's a storm? I don't know, but they're pretty smart, and they I'm sure they did pretty well. There's probably some bears that didn't make it.
Well, we had 2 bears at our house.
That's okay though. They'll always
Saturday.
make more bears. We have so many bears around here; it's crazy, especially here at Mom's house. But the bears and other wildlife usually they know about things, and
it's called anomalous animal behavior.
They can find
they sense earthquakes shelter. And they know when to take shelter.
Horses kind of do the same thing. Not necessarily cows. They usually die in the floodwaters, especially when they get inundated. They just don't know any better. Sheep do the same thing. They usually die. But
I watched a lady who put her goats in her car and went to a house they were working, and they put the goats up on the second floor, and it was just an old mountain house that they were trying to refurbish, and they had to get out of where they were. Everything was flooding.
Yeah, the Starlink's pretty nice. It doesn't work everywhere on the planet, but it works in most places on the planet. So
Sage says she's been studying ham radio for a ham radio license. That would be quite a blessing.
Yeah, I've got a hand radio myself, and I don't have a license, but I can listen. And if the world ends,
you're going to have to show me how to use our little radio.
If the world ends, and I'll just talk on it because I won't care. There won't be anybody getting that'll come find me. But I have one to listen. My son has one, and there are repeaters and stuff that you can tap into to get over top of mountains and stuff like that. But
Sage is in Orlando.
It's going to be pretty bad in Orlando. So
she's ready. Her roof is rated for 140.
That's good. I mean, they got the highest building standards on the planet in Florida, and when they build things, it's got to pass all those inspections. So
and Japan has them where the buildings sway when the earthquakes and don't crash.
Yeah, it's So keep Florida in your prayers. One of my favorite fishing spots down there that I go to sometimes, at least once a year. It got hit by the same hurricane that hit us, and they got more storm surge than they've ever seen.
It was 20 feet.
It was, but they were prepared as much as they could be. They put stuff as high up as they could. They moved stuff to higher ground, and they made it through. So, but anyway, continue to pray for our mountains. Continue to pray for all the folks in Florida about to get hit by Milton. So, and thank you all for your prayers and for all your donations. So
just amazing. I mean, we didn't even ask for donations, and they were pouring in.
Yep. Well, it's good to see you. She's okay. It was like a little over 2 days that I couldn't reach her. So it was Friday, Saturday, and I got to talk to her on
Sunday evening.
Last Sunday. So
a week ago Sunday.
We
went out and found a place where we could get just a little bit of cell service, and we kept breaking up. You finally stopped. You were driving home, weren't you? From other locals that people are trying to help and getting turned away with supplies and help. The help aren't. Well, here's what I heard, a good definition of some things. People having things confiscated and that sort of thing. And pinball preparedness. He is north of Knoxville, just north of where Ethan is. On Lake Douglas. Is that the
name that's the Fresh Broad River that's dammed up there.
One, I don't know what.
That's Lake Douglas.
No, what's Norris Lake?
Norris is
north.
Yeah, it's north of Knoxville.
That's where pinball is. And he said that government agencies like county, and I was a county commissioner for 6 years, and I know when emergency preparedness comes in, and our whole area has been deemed an emergency zone. I mean, that's our governor did that before the storm even hit. And you have to have a certain amount of things already set aside. Well, a lot of counties, we've never had anything like this happen except in 1916, which was 100
and there wasn't very many people here then.
8 years ago. And so
we've had one big event since then. It was in 2004. and it was nothing like this. The one in 2004 we thought was crazy because it was a massive amount of flooding, and these same areas got flooded, but not as bad. And it was more localized in certain areas. It wasn't the entire like almost the entirety of Western North Carolina, Northeast Tennessee, upstate of South Carolina,
Virginia,
Northeast Georgia, and the little southern part of the mountains in Virginia. I mean, it's just a huge area of the Blue Ridge that got this huge amount of rain. But yeah, it's I do know of people getting frustrated with the amount of stuff that's been coming from all over the country, supplies, and so much so that a couple of places they were getting so much stuff they were like, and
Spruce Pine has no place to put it,
and people were showing up to help, and we're like, we don't have anything for you to do because we don't know how to handle all this stuff. And so the first, pretty much, through like the middle of last week, people were just like trying to wrap their brains and work the problem, and so much stuff came in so fast, and then you're trying to organize helpers and volunteers to like pass things out. And some of these people that are helping and volunteering, they don't have water, they don't have electricity, and they were doing it out of the goodness of their heart, just
trying to pass things along.
Yeah.
Samaritan's Purse, its headquarters was Boone, and Boone got hit, but they were on the ground. They've been on the ground. Mm-hmm. They've been helping organize areas like Swannanoa and Chimney Rock, and just getting people what they need, and helping to be the hands.
Yeah, and now things are getting better. There's a lot more organization. Things are getting to places. There are people there to help pass things out. And I think that's the biggest thing when things like this happen is logistics. And it's just crazy.
And we were cut off north, west, and east.
And you want people from around the area want to help as fast as they can. And sometimes you just we're like, well, we're just trying to stay alive. So if you can get here, but we don't know for you to go. And then it takes a few days for things to kind of figure out. But right now, we got a lot of boots on the ground. People are doing a lot of work and trying to get things back up and running. So
there's this one group that's just cutting trees, and the power people are coming in behind them. After they get the trees out of the way, they can bring their power companies can bring.
Another really good one to donate to, or to see if you can help out at all, it's called Mission to North America, and it's by the Presbyterian Church of America, and they have it's just a disaster relief, and they come in with their own tree people. They come in with supplies. They come in with all kinds of stuff, and they come in with cranes to get trees off of homes. And they are amazing. They're not as big as Samaritan's Purse, but they have a pretty good footprint as well. I'm trying to think. There's several different groups. One that I've helped out with a lot in the past is Asheville Buncombe Christian Ministry Services, and they feed a lot of people when it's cold and stuff like that. And a couple of their places got flooded out, but they've always they're a great place to where people can get clothing, food, and things like that. They're a great organization.
There are folks that have started coat drives because it's going to be in the 30s in Banner Elk and Boone and those areas this next week. Wow. And Pinball's people have just organized coat drives and stuff to get things to where they need to go.
There's more and more stories that are coming out, and you'll probably get to see more and more stories, and we'll tell you more and more stories because our area will eventually run out of this news cycle, especially with the next hurricane, and we'll kind of be forgotten. But the devastation will last here for a long time.
People are going to be without jobs because there's nothing left.
Yeah, and some of these areas they're
and
gone.
Some of them were vital things for the whole country, like IV fluids. Mm-hmm. That factory went away, totally gone. Nothing left.
I don't know if y'all know the college where Billy Graham
Montreat,
his retirement, his home was in there. That college is beautiful. It's like it's up the mountain a little bit from Black Mountain, and beautiful stream that runs through there. It blew right through that college. I mean, that river became a raging torrent and went straight down to the Shenandoah River. And there's so many places in there that got flooded. Not just flooded, but mudslides, boulders moved, pieces of the mountain came down, and it is a horrific scene through there. So there's a lot of different areas that are devastated and are going to need your prayers, support, and help. So
the Cajun Navy's here. It's working, but it's probably going to have to go down to Florida now.
Yeah, our swiftwater rescue time's over. It's more of
it's recovery.
It's recovery, and search out for people that they're dead and stuck in a mud flat or something.
Did I tell you that Conda, they found one of her neighbors dead this week? Today, she sent me a message, and she lives in town.
But yeah, there's a lot of different places like that. Lots of stories will continue to come out. There's some really good stories of people that were staying at the Black Mountains Home for Children. And I told you this the other day, but a group was there when the hurricane came through that morning, and they would have lost almost the entire group if somebody hadn't spotted some trees moving coming down the mountain, and they moved everybody to the other side of their big great hall that they have. They have like people, they have a big kitchen on one end, bathrooms on the other, and in the middle is just a big meeting room kind of thing. Well, they moved everybody to the kitchen side away from that creek, and it took out the bathroom side of the Great Hall building and like 2 or 3 cabins. And there's like 50 something tons of rock that came down in trees, demolished everything. Nobody died there, but just because somebody was watching and saw the mountain coming down.
When you live in the mountains, you don't really see the little rivulets until the wintertime, and you can see where the water flows because it's all covered up. We got good leaves on trees right now, and they're heavy. We got 22 inches of rain right here in 3 days, and it was 3 days before the storm.
If the trees had been leafless already, there might have been a lot less trees fall, but because they were still green and leafed out, it just blew them over when that hurricane winds hit them. So, but anyway, my best to y'all. Stay safe if you're in Florida, and
pay attention
and continue to try to be prepared. You never know when things are going to happen.
Sage said this the other day: get ready, stay ready. When you use your preps, replace them, and to always be ready.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to be ready because you never know when there's going to be a train derailment. We had one of those in Cincinnati last week.
Yep, there's a lot of ways you can do to keep your family from being a needy family.
So. Desperate people do desperate things, and I don't want you to be desperate. I want you to be the ones helping others, not being the ones needing help. And we can do that when we're prepared. I've been prepared his whole life. I mean, I started preparing, reading with 3 little books that this Mormon lady wrote about having a 2-year stash of food.
Yeah.
And he's given away all of his preps, everything. Because he wasn't home. Because he wasn't home, and he just couldn't see people going hungry, and his is just sitting in the basement.
Yep. Had people eat some of my venison, which was good. I'm glad it fed them. And we had a lot of freezer food, a lot of frozen chicken, a lot of things like that. They came and raided my freezer, let them take my generator so they can energize their stuff and keep stuff cold. I had big coolers for them to put stuff in. And, but yeah, it's time soon it'll be time to restock back up. So, but yeah. Well, we love y'all. And
y'all be good, kind, and sweet.
Thanks for listening. While we ramble, there's a lot to talk about. And
I really hadn't seen much of it because I haven't been out of the house except for Sunday a week ago.
I want to show y'all one thing. A buddy of mine, he has a farm. He has a small farm that he bought several years ago in Shenandoah, and he's he's up the hill a bit from the river. And the roads are washed out, but his place was fine. He lost a tree, landed on his little cabin, but it's going to be okay. But he didn't have a well, and so now he doesn't have water, but he has a 10-acre pond. And so he got donated this device right here. You can see that. That is a giant life straw water filtration system.
So he fills it up with pond water.
Yeah, so he's taking pond water. You can see the pond water right there in those water containers.
And it's life straw?
And it's made by Life Straw. They drop these off in Africa. They're great for filtering the dirtiest water and making it clean and tasty. And
he travels with one. When they went to Peru on a mission trip, he took his life straw.
You can see that's a pond water and then filtered water. And they have plenty of water to drink, water to flush toilets, water to take to take a bath or wash off or something like that. He's got a generator. They're making do. And by the goodness of somebody to donate that to him was an amazing thing, because those things are not cheap. I mean, that water filtration system can last 3 to 5 years and can filter 1,000 gallons of water a day. Those things are amazing. So
we need those in town.
So yeah, it's pretty wild. But anyway, love y'all.
They want us to pray, so
let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for all the blessings of life you give us. We just ask a special prayer for our mountains here and our communities and all of the damage and destruction, all the folks that have lost homes, lost loved ones, lost jobs. If you can continue to we just thank you for your provisions for the people out of the goodness of their heart, donating and helping and volunteering, all the power crews that have worked day after day restoring lines, for all the tree trimming crews that have worked day after day clearing trees and debris, for all the first responders and rescuers out there that are combing through mud flows and debris of houses looking for people. We thank you for their hard work and all that they've done, and just help to bring our mountains back, Lord, and help to bring our people back, and continue to be with all those in Florida that are about to be affected by this next hurricane, Milton.
We rebuke this storm in the name of Jesus.
Keep them safe, Lord. And just thank you for all of our fly babies, all of our followers out there. Thank you for all that have supported us and are continuing to donate and help out us and other groups that are trying to help people out, Lord. We thank you. We love you. And it's in your blessed Son's name we pray, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
So, thank y'all.
Okay, we'll see you in the morning. It's plan and play day, so let's get started building our pantries back. And if you're in Florida, get ready.
Yep.
Get ready for the storms. Stay ready so you can always be ready. That's from Sage. She's our sergeant. See you later. Bye.